60-odd years ago, I was on a farm in Canada, and I went out one morning and found a currant bush at least 6 feet high. I knew that it was going all to wood. There was no sign of blossom or fruit. I got my pruning shears and went to work on that currant bush. And I clipped it and cut it down until there was nothing left but a little clump of stumps. As I looked at this little clump of bushes, stumps, there seemed to be a tear on each one. And I said, "What's the matter, currant bush? What are you crying about?" And I thought I heard that currant bush speak. It seemed to say, "How could you do this to me? I was making such wonderful growth. I was almost as large as a fruit tree and shade tree, and now you've cut me down. And all in the garden will look upon me with contempt and pity. How could you do it? I thought you were the gardener here." I said, "Look, little currant bush, I am the gardener here, and I know what I want you to be. If I let you go the way you want to go, you'll never amount to anything. But someday, when you're laden with fruit, you're going to think back and say, 'Thank you, Mr. Gardener, for cutting me down, for loving me enough to hurt me.'" "10 years passed, and I found myself in Europe. There was only one man between me and the rank of general, which I had cherished in my heart for years. And then he became a casualty. And the day after, I received a telegram from London. General Turner, in charge of all Canadian officers, said, "Be in my office tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I puffed up. I called my special servant, call him Batman over there. I said, "Polish my boots and my buttons. Make me look like a general, because I'm going up tomorrow to be appointed." I walked into the office of the general. I saluted him smartly. Then he said, "Sit down, Brown." I was deflated. I sat down. And he said, "Brown, you're entitled to this promotion, but I cannot make it. You have qualified, you've had the experience, you're entitled to it in every way, but I cannot make this appointment." Just then he went into the other room to answer a phone call, and I did what most every officer and men in the Army would do under those circumstances. I looked over on his desk, see what my personal history sheet showed, and I saw on the bottom of that history sheet in large capital letters, "This man is a Mormon." Now at that time we were hated in Britain, and I knew why he couldn't make the appointment. On my way back, bitterness rose in my heart until when I arrived finally in my tent, I threw rather vigorously my cap on the cot. I clenched my fist and I shook it at heaven. And I said, "How could you do this to me, God? I've done everything that I knew how to do to uphold the standards of the church. I was making such wonderful growth, and now you cut me down. How could you do it?" And then I heard a voice. It sounded like my own voice. And the voice said, "I'm the gardener here. I know what I want you to be. If I let you go the way you want to go, you'll never amount to anything. And someday, you're going to shout back across the time and say, 'Thank you, Mr. Gardener, for cutting me down.'" But those words, which I recognize now as my words to the currant bush, had become God's word to me. I fell to my knees and prayed for forgiveness for my arrogance and my ambition.